Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome to my Fiddlesticks Jungle Beginner's Guide. I'm going to be showing you how to carry on Fiddlesticks here in Season 11, and I'm going to be showing you a really awesome safe clear route, which is starting on red side instead of blue side. If you're playing against an aggressive early game jungle champion like 𝐒𝐻𝐿, Xin Zhao, or 𝐒𝐿, this jungle route will save you so many games. Red side clear out on Fiddlesticks is a little bit slower, but much safer. I would recommend control ward over refill potion to give yourself that early edge. We have our control ward in our effigy. I'm gonna get my control ward down here. I'm gonna get it right there. And I'm gonna get my effigy out a little bit deeper. I don't typically like to lay my control wards out too far, because enemies will step up and break it, especially against the Fiddlesticks. They look to break it early. So laying your control wards a little bit safer, but still slightly neutral tends to be best. On Fiddlesticks, you can start a lot of different places. One start I really like to throw off the enemy jungler is actually starting on red buff and raptors. Don't worry, you're not going to run out of mana. And you just got to find the little sweet spot. Very good way to do this is to practice this in training tool. Basically, you want to be as close to this wall as possible. The closer you are, the easier it is to do this. You want to auto the red buff first and pull it to the raptor just like I did. Like I said, you're gonna want to practice this, because if you don't, then you're gonna mess it up a lot and you're gonna be very, very sad. You're gonna get your E level 2. We're gonna get a second point in our W here in a second. You could, if you want to do this similar but much easier, just pull blue to Gromp. That is like 5 times easier than doing red and wraps at the same time, so I'd recommend that. Hit the whole camp with our W, pull back over here. I mean, hit the whole camp with our E. Yeah, pulling blue into Gromp, that's definitely a good beginner thing to do. We got another point in our drain. I usually recommend that, but I wanted to show you guys the red side start. It's also much easier to get a skull crab on Fiddlesticks if you do this route, because junglers usually start with their bot lane. So 𝐒𝐿 is going to be over here. Meanwhile, I'm going to be over here. We're going to drain it. Our drain's on cooldown. We're going to run over here. We're going to auto it in between drains. Obviously, auto the big monster. And we're going to pull the blue buff to us. Your drain goes over walls to anything that it can reach. So that's how we were able to pull the blue buff without even needing to use our E there. We don't want to reset the blue here, so we're not going to walk any farther over to our right. We also don't want to reset the Gromp. I think I just canceled my drain is what happened. That clear was a little bit on the slow side. Canceled my drain here and there. Get our fear down into EW. 𝐒𝐿's top side. He's going to be on top scuttle. At least we are still going to get a scuttle. Clear off of red side will be a little bit slower. But once again, you're not likely to get countered because people don't expect you to do that. Also, your laners don't need to leash you, so you're giving your laners a little buff by doing that. I'll leave an effigy there for some vision. Come down here to golems. I'm gonna pull them over. I'm gonna smite it early, that way our W can do its execute damage. I'm gonna keep pulling back, using my drain whenever it's up. We do have the predator set up. We'll be using that shortly. This looks semi-gankable. I'm coming. Oh, Nivea had flash still. That sucks. 𝐒𝐿's already spent his gold. You need to be very careful not to cancel your drain on Fiddle. If you do cancel it, it puts it on such a longer cooldown than it needs to be. If you let it end naturally, if the target dies or if they walk out of range, it is on a super short cooldown. I think that's what I ended up doing over here on the blue and Gromp by accident. First back, we're gonna go ahead and we could go for Sork shoes, or we could just start building into Proto Bell. I'm feeling the Sork shoe rush. Sork shoes are really good on Fiddle right now. I'm down for it. Another thing you could build is just normal boots. That's perfectly fine, and then you can start building into your Hextech alternator. You're gonna want Proto Bell first normally, and then into your hourglass. I'm gonna look for a gank. Alright, here we go. Volibear's being hyper aggro. He might actually kill Jhin if Jhin doesn't kite this. Q into E, got the kill. A lot of the times you wait to use your E until right as they're coming out of your fear. I just wanted to get the kill though. The dude was super low on health. I could finish him off as it was. Help him shove the way. It looks like he wants to stay. I'm not too crazy about it. I think the skull's already gone, so we're gonna go and just get golems. Like I said, guys, if somehow your clear gets messed up or you go back with a weird amount of gold, you can just buy normal boots, but you do need to buy boots if you are going to run the Predator setup. You can take Electrocute if you really want to. Predator is a lot better, and you can do a lot more in the early game. If you absolutely do not want to gank, which is usually a mistake, then just go ahead and run Electrocute and AFK farm till 6. But like I said, full clear into a single gank is perfectly fine. That's what we did there. We full cleared into a gank, and now we can full clear again. Not really missing anything along the way. After your first clear, you don't really need to waste your Q on farming. Got him. If you notice there, after I made contact and he got feared, because if you hit someone when they can't see you, since I R'd from the bush, or if I would have just E'd him from the bush, then I could have feared him. But since he was already feared, we walked with him for a little bit on our R, and then what we did was we waited to use our E until right as he was coming out of our fear. That way we could basically stack our 1 second fear into a 1.25 second silence, so we had 2 seconds and a quarter of CC instead of only having 1 second and a quarter, basically. That way you can also walk with them better with your R on. After you silence, then you will be using your W. Got our red buff. Let's push down. Our blue buff's up in 40. Our Predator's also up. Jhin can get that kill if he just runs it down, I think. He's got boots. Volibear, no boots. Ranged top laners are pretty good in my opinion. They're actually my favorite top laners to play. 𝐒𝐻𝐿 was just in this area. My stuff's missing. Looks like he punished me for ganking. What a turd biscuit. What a rude dude. Got our fear on her into silence and the blue smite, and she's a goner. Well played. Anivia's a really strong champ. She's a bit of a scaler. She has tiny HP though. She has one of the lowest base HPs in the game with champions like Sona. We're gonna go ahead and pick up Hextech Alternator. I'll go ahead and pick up a Dark Seal as well. Mejai's is still a great option for Fiddle if you are ahead. Or just a Dark Seal, leaving it on that is perfectly fine. Fiddle's one of the best junglers in the game right now. He's basically a top 10, top 15. Very safe, very stable. You don't want to pick him if your team is already AP heavy. If your thing has things like Sona, Ziggs, and like a Rumble top, you don't want to pick him. If your team has less than 2 AP champions, so 1 or less, that's when you want to play him. This game, my whole team's AD, Jhin, Qiyana, Lucian, and Senna. So this game, it made a lot of sense. Autoing in between my W's. Like I said, after your first clear, you don't need to use your Q really on your monster camps. It doesn't do much damage, and if the enemy jungler shows up, you're going to be sad that you wasted it. Our Predator's up. It's pretty much always ready to use. It's kind of OP. I'm going to set up an effigy right here. Make sure this isn't warded, and it's not. I'm going to set up another effigy. This is once you're level 6, your effigies get to see wards and disable them temporarily, and you can break them if you so choose. I don't know why we're shoving up when I'm down here, but I guess it is what it is. I'll go defend mid turret. Alright, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Everyone's kind of AFK. Their bot's missing, their mid's missing, their jungle's missing. I'll just reset, pick that up, grab a control ward. It's good to keep control ward on you at all times, just in case you're out of effigies and you want to gank something. Before you want to be certain that there's no ward there, otherwise enemies will just run away and you will waste a perfectly good R. It will go and it will run since you have to channel it. Volibear disabled the turret. I'm on my Predator. Q into E, W, blue smite, and he's dead. Well played. You want to max your Q second, your E last. If you guys need to see the level order runes, everything all in one spot, go back to the very start of the video. I show it all there. We're gonna just walk with him, W, hit him with our blue smite. If you're fighting to the death like that, save your blue smite until you start your drain. That way they can't walk out of it and you can hit them with both parts. We're getting really, really big. I don't feel like shoving this wave because Jin should be back here by now. Why is... It's so weird. They're all like AFK. Maybe there's something wrong with the league servers. I don't know. I don't know if this is warded or not. I don't want to use my R. I'll just go first scuttle. I have a feeling it is warded because Azir is missing now. It's making me nervous. My R is up. We have a control word over here from Jin. We could set up an R on this. Volibear doesn't have his R either, so he doesn't have a good escape route. We're going to Q into E, walk with him. Now we're going to drain, and he's gone. Well played. You don't have to steal your laner CS, just try to help them push the wave. You'll get a lot of juicy XP. So there I set up the wave for him. He could just use his little bouncing grenade. Might get a minion or two here. It's fine. Volibear's still dead. Udra's taking double dragon, and he's been taking my camps whenever I go to gank, so he has a little bit more CS than I have. You can also go for lucidity boots or boots of mobility. I generally prefer Sork shoes if I can afford them. I think they're the better boot on Fiddlesticks since his Q, W, E, and R are all pure magic damage. I think it's especially good in this game because I'm the only AP on our team. They're not likely to build much magic resist, so by having some flat magic resist, I can get some exponential value with the way resistances stack and work. Oh, I gotta get out. Udra's here. Red buff's up. Once again, it's easier to pull red buff to wraps. Red buff has a longer patience area. You're gonna want to find the spot where red buff is chill. Okay, I'm trying to walk closer to my raptors. Another way you can also do it is utilizing the S key on your keyboard. By moving and then pressing S, you can steer at their patience bar and figure out exactly when it starts to tick down, and then you can find a nice little middle area. You don't have to memorize the exact pixel and try to step on that. You can eyeball it a little bit more as long as you know how to do this. As long as you can click and then press S to immediately stop your character. Probably should have said that earlier in the video. Oh, I got my Predator, walk into this guy, Q, E, W, blue smite. He's dead. Well played. I could have even warded the bush. That would have been an option. He was so low. I didn't feel threatened by that guy. Wipe out this wave. I'm down to take out this turret. It's a lot of juicy gold. It's also first turret gold. Everyone's turrets are still up. Bada boom. 400 gold plus 150 for first turret. I like it. We can get rocket belt and we can get mesh. You may say, well, Fiddlesticks, because of his R, Hourglass is his best item, which is true. Technically, it is his best items for team fights. Outside of team fights, I wouldn't say so. And since for the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game, it's mostly just ganks. So it's 2v2s, 3v3s. You don't need Hourglass or Stopwatch. That's why Fiddlesticks goes for the Hextech Rocket Belt Rush into Hourglass, because if it's not a 4v4 or 5v5, you don't really need it. I use Q for a little extra damage there. I see where all the enemies are on the map. It's safe. Once again, our drain is our strongest tool, and we're maxing it first. It's doing pretty much all the damage. I'm gonna Predator runner down to a Q, E, W. And if you had electrocute, obviously 𝐒𝐿 would proc the electrocute. But we have Predator. Didn't bother to use our proto belt. It's on a 40-second cooldown. Looks like this is warded. Let's break it down. Your effigies are particularly good against skill shot champions. It can block skill shots like a single target skill shot. I'm trying to think of an example. Like a Mundo Cleaver. Effigy can block Mundo Cleavers. It can block Nunu snowballs. If Nunu's rolling a big snowball, your effigy will block it for you. Your effigies can also see Evelyn even after you lay them. So it's not just for the first like 6 seconds when you lay it. They permanently can see her if she walks close to it, as if that were a champion. At Fiddlesticks is a pretty tough matchup for Evelyn. It's definitely Fiddlesticks favored in terms of team fights and even just early mid game. It's not warded. I'm gonna start up my R, then activate my Predator. Got him. Hit with that 𝐒𝐿 right as the fear was ending. Also got him with the proto belt. No clue where Udyr is. This is a little dangerous. Let's go ahead and push it anyways. Sorry guys, I got something in my throat. It's not going away. It's strange. Like it rebuilds. Very persistent. Our effigy just saw the Udyr. He's going for third dragon. I don't think I can get over there in time, and I don't have bot prio or mid prio, so I should just go for Herald. Realistically, nice job by the Kiana. I'll just help her break turret. Fiddlesticks is really slow at taking heralds. He's better at taking dragons than heralds in my opinion. I know Udyr's coming. I'm gonna need a word down. 𝐒𝐿. I eat a little early. He's low enough to where he doesn't scare me. Even if he tried to turn on me there, he's just kind of weak right now. Their bot lane's still pushing it. Might be able to make a play on that. Your Predator, you need vision of them, and they also have to be within the circle as you see on the mini map. So don't use it from too far away. Here we go. Kaisa went the other way. I still have my rocket belt as well. The rocket belt's really good for staying on top of them with your R on. That's its main priority, is staying on top. We should take this red buff with our bot lane. I think Udyr just saw me. 𝐒𝐿. Gonna run away. I'll help Lucian take it. I don't even want it. I don't need it. 10 stacks on our Dark Seal. I could back and get full Hourglass. My R is up here in a second though. Let's break this down. I'll lay my new control word. I'm gonna have to start laying a lot more as we push up deeper and deeper onto the map. Raptor wall is a great spot to ult over on. An even safer spot is right here, because a lot of times people ward Raptor over this little Raptor area. Predator boots. I have my Hourglass. I think we can kill Anivia. I'll start my Predator channel, then I'll R. Lasagnas. I don't no clue why Lucian didn't just shoot him. Very nice. I didn't want Azir to hit me with the wall, so I went ahead and Lasagnas a little early. You can start your Predator channel and then use your R. They changed Predator from what it used to be. So if you're about to R, you can click Predator then R, and if they're slightly outside of your range, you'll just run down with Predator on. That way it happens more at once, and you'll get that active Predator damage a little easier. I could flash fear her and just annihilate her if she gets a little closer. We're gonna back off though. We already got inhib. No reason to stay. We can go buy Zhonya's and then we can immediately use it, even though it's a broken stopwatch. We don't have to wait for the Zhonya's cooldown of 120 seconds. Go ahead and reset. Zanya's, I'll get a Mej. At this point, you're usually looking to get 𝐒𝐿𝐂𝐿 or penetration. Their team doesn't have that much healing. It's mainly just Volibear. My team doesn't have any 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿 though, so I'll go ahead and buy it. It kind of sucks. Like, normally you want it if they have 2 or more self-healers, like an Aatrox Irelia or a Fiora Volibear or that type of thing, or if they have 1 real healer like Soraka. All they really have is the Volibear. They don't have any Conqueror champions. It's just self-heal Volibear W. That alone barely makes it worth. Let's use my Predator. See if we can get this guy. I don't think we can, actually. At least not without our R. I hit him with my 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿. Kiana, Mr. R. Fear off me. I could R on this big time. Hourglass. And they're gonna eat it. Wow, Uter's really fast. I think he's on phase rush and he flashed and got his Nimbus Cloak speed up. Really, really fast. That was an awesome fight. The cool thing about Fiddlesticks, no matter how low you are on HP, you can always just R in and pretty much immediately Zanya's. The moment 𝐒𝐿𝐿 started her auto attack animation against me, I just plucked my R. I wasn't gonna let her chunk me down. So you can take aggro, kind of hold them in the fight. Dragon's coming up. Even though Uter's been getting them dragons, it doesn't really matter unless he can get them the soul. And he shouldn't be able to. I really hope they don't get it at least. I'm tanking. Alright, I'm gonna go get dragon. I'm too low for this. I gotta go heal. My Predator's back up. My R's up. Alright, I'm gonna Predator in. Oh no. Wow, 𝐒𝐿𝐿 Collector got me. She obviously didn't have the damage to kill me. Her little rockets didn't do much damage. Because I have armor. And I have some HP. But the Collector finished me off. Did an extra 60 damage. Feels bad. We really do need to stop them from getting that though. That's the Dragon Soul. Ocean Soul is the best, and then Flame Soul is the second best dragon. The reason why Ocean Soul is generally better than Flame Soul is Ocean Soul synergizes really, really well with tanks and Spirit Visage specifically. So you can build Spirit Visage when you have Ocean Soul, and it's outrageous. Flame Soul is typically just an extra 100 to 200 damage every like 5 seconds. So, not quite as good. We can go for Void Staff next. All we really needed was the 40% heal cut on Oblivion Orb. That way we can kill Volibear fast. I'd like to wrap this game up. I'm happy Lucian didn't take my red buff. I mean my blue buff. That would have really sucked. Oh, he just pushed it out on my thing. Oh, that was nice of him. Guess he's trying to help since he took wolves. That's rare. I assume my team's pretty happy with me. I've only 1 death and I've been contributing. I don't see any of them. They're not inside my circle, I don't think. It looks like you actually don't need vision of them for Predator to work. With 𝐒𝐿𝐿 you do, but with Predator you don't. If you can't see them on 𝐒𝐿𝐿, it doesn't do anything, but it seems like Predator, I was getting blind speed up off that. So there must have been somebody close. Kind of nuts. Still wouldn't recommend using Predator blindly like that. You can end up wasting it and giving away your position when you have no idea where they are. Fiddlesticks is a big counter puncher. A lot of times you're just hiding in the back waiting to do this. Go into her, I hourglass. I proto belted to stay on top of the Anivia. I never had a chance to even use my W. We're gonna fear him into drain. Blue smite Azir. Let's get a silence on him. My autos are doing good damage against this turret. Cool, got him. Oh, I didn't even say 𝐒𝐿, no joke. Just got a couple of kills. A sneaky little 𝐒𝐿. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. This Medj isn't doing much for us. We're dying a bit much to have it. Very close to our Void Staff. They have some magic resist. 𝐒𝐻's got 25. Voli has 30. It may be worth just to finish the Morello for now and then get our Void Staff after. You're wondering why we have the futures market. It's basically to ensure you can get the items you want to buy on your first back. If your clear gets messed up or if you get pushed off a scuttle, that type of thing, sometimes you'll get forced back with a weird amount of gold. And futures market just ensures you can get tier 2 boots on your first back for Predator Fiddlesticks. You really want to make sure that you don't go for free boots if you're going to take Predator, because then you won't get boots until around at the soonest 8-minute mark to 12-minute mark, which sucks because then you can't use your Predator. So never go free boots if you're going to run Predator. It's not worth. Doesn't make sense to take. You want to get boots as fast as possible when you take Predator. Looks like we're going for Baron. I'm fine with that. I can tank it. Kinda. I'm taking a lot of damage. I need to stand in front of Sen, where Sen is at, to get the little hill. There it is. Solid tank fiddle right there. 850, smited it. Let's shove this down. Fiddlesticks has really bad engages. Don't think of him as an engage champ like a Rammus or a Zac. Think of him as a counter puncher. He's a landmine waiting to go off. Just like that. Protobelt OP. R Protobelt 𝐒𝐿. I have my Predator up. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Holy smokes. But just my 𝐒𝐿 alone nearly half health that guy. I guess I must be pretty fed. Yeah, doing some damage. I'm technically in the jungle now, so 20 mana back. When I step out of there, I'm only getting 3 back. So if you're really low on mana, you can just step back real quick. Break it, Senna. Getting 15 mana. As you get more and more, you get less back in the jungle, but that's 15 still a lot. Double fear. She just used her item dash to get away from me. Her Gale Force. I believe I would have killed her otherwise. And that's GG, guys. I think that's GG's. 𝐒𝐿. Nice, nice, nice. GG's well played. If you enjoyed this Fiddlesticks Jungle commentary guide for Season 11, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is 𝐒𝐿𝐀𝐋. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.